Are we really going to battle this again when you guys make noise? Right? Okay. If you're humming, Ava, you know where you're supposed to sit. Can I move over? If this is too small, you can move seats around or whatever. Now, what I'm going to do is go through the questions with you step by step. Sometimes I'll say them verbally. Sometimes I will actually write them out on the board. And also, I will hit just about all of these questions. If I don't have enough time to hit all of them, then we'll stop a little bit early. And I just want to make sure we have enough time to finish the quiz. Yes? For today, Joe sits there. He is here, so Joe will be back. You can sit there for today also. Okay, lights please. Okay. Now, one question I would pose to you guys before we begin today. Frankie, get in your seat. Joe, in your seat. You guys know where you sit. Oh, no, I did move you yesterday. I'm sorry. Right, I apologize. One thing that I want to remind you of, listen very, very carefully. You know you have a test on Tuesday. And you know that if you waste time that can be spent improving how much you know and understand, that you're going to get a lower grade on Tuesday. So if you feel like daydreaming, if you feel like talking, if you feel like not paying attention, doodling, whatever it is you feel like doing that's not focused and not learning, at the same exact instant in time, you are making the decision to get a worse test grade. Decisions work a lot like muscles. Everybody take your hand, put your fingers right here. This is called your bicep. Curl it in.
Oh my God.
Now put your arms straight back out again. Put your arms straight back out again. Put your hands on the bottom. This is called the tricep. Curl it in. Did you feel that move too? Oh, it definitely does. If you didn't feel it move, you need a bigger tricep. Now, so here's the deal. Every time you move one muscle, another muscle also moves. Always. So if you make the decision to come into class and be focused and to do your best and to be the best student you could possibly be for not just today but for every day leading up to that test, then when you take the test, it's going to show and you're going to get a very good grade on the test. But if you make the decision to not be your best student today, and you make the decision to not pay attention, to doodle, to daydream, put your head down, go to sleep, whatever. Think about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is that's on your mind. You think about any of those things. Joe, he's on the desk turn. You think about any of those things instead of what's on these sheets. And that will show on your test. And you'll get a worse grade. So the decisions work together. Do the right thing, the muscle produces what you were looking for it to produce. Do the wrong thing, and the muscle does not produce. Okay, so with all of that in mind, let's take a look at the correct answers here. Number one is -4. The reason number one is -4 is because this says -2 squared. And you have to remember, by the order of operations, the first thing you're going to do is square it. That's kind of weird. I mean, think about it. Our whole lives, we have been taught to go left to right. Everything is left to right, unless you're Hebrew. If you're Jewish, you read right to left. And if you're Chinese, you read top to bottom. Okay? And the Jewish people go from the back of the book to the front of the book. Our version of backs and front. Now, unless you're Jewish, you're not used to it. If you're everyday normal English, American, you read left to right. And you tend to think, oh, I got this. This means square -2. No, it does not. It means square 2, then negate it. So you have to read it backwards. If I square 2, I get 4. I negate it, I get -4. The next one says 29 to the 0. Everybody, what does that equal? 1. Good. The next one says -8 squared. And this does mean -8 times -8, and what is that? 64. 64. Nicely done. Okay. The next one, and you can see, look, guys, if you have been paying any attention to what's been going on in here all year long, these are the do-it questions for about a month. So if you practice those do-it questions and you paid attention and you worked at them, this is easy for you. What's 4 to the 0? a negative exponent. So that's 1 over 4 squared. 1 over 4 squared is 1 over 16. So the answer is 1 and 1/16. Okay. Next up, 3n squareds minus 4n squareds. That would be negative 1 or just negative n squared. It is not n to the 4th. Because whenever you add or subtract, or it's even better said, combine like terms, you always get back to things you started with. Josh?
Put 1 and get it wrong.
No, 1 is fine.
Oh, okay, I put 1.
Yeah, 1 is fine. Okay. Now, next one. D to the 3rd to the 8th. And we are very good. I've graded so many of your papers during the year. The overwhelming majority of you will know to multiply those two, and you will get D to the 24th. However, this is a little trickier for a lot of you guys. 7x to the 5th squared. And what some people put in as an answer is 7x to the 10th. 7x to the 10th is wrong. Let me repeat. 7x to the 10th is wrong. Mr. Michaels, what is it?
Is it 49x to the 10th?
Very good. You could play Jeopardy too. 49x to the 10th. Because the squared refers to everything in the package. X to the 5th squared is x to the 10th. And 7 squared is 49. Next one. Negative 5 n to the 5th m times negative 3 n cubed m to the 4th. And remember, even though we don't bother writing it, there really is a 1 there. That's extremely important. If you forget that, you will get it wrong. Negative 5 times negative 3, positive 15. N to the 5th? Oh, this one's positive? I'm sorry, then that makes that negative. Negative 15, n to the 5th. Hold it. 5 and 3 makes 8. I don't know why I put that there.
Yes.
Negative 15, n to the 8th, m to the 5th. Okay? And then we get to number 9, which is negative 20, x to the 5th, divided by negative 4, x to the 3rd. Negative 20 divided by negative 4 is 5. X to the 5th divided by x to the 3rd is x squared. So that's a total of 9 questions. They're worth 4 points each. That is 36 points on the test. Today is October the 26th. We began school on roughly September the 6th or 8th or something like that. So we have had about 50 days of learning this stuff. In the course of that 50 days, you have probably done at least 50 questions, like every one of these on the board. So you have had lots of opportunities to get this down pat. Most of you will look at all of that work and say, I got this. I got this. I know what I'm doing. If you don't feel that way, then you need to make sure that you are at extra help Monday morning. That you are at extra help. Well, we have the test Tuesday, so that's it. You know what? I think I'm going to move extra help next week. I think I'll cancel Thursday's extra help and move Thursday to Tuesday. I'm not sure I'll do that. I have to look at where the tests are. But you definitely have extra help on Monday. So make sure that you're in extra help to get that down pat. I know it's a Monday morning, but we got to do what we got to do. Okay. Next up. Distance between two atoms is 5.8 times 10 to the -6 nanometers. Express this as a standard numeral. So 5.8 times 10 to the -6. Move it 6 places, but here's the kicker. To the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where my decimal goes. Fill all of these in with zeros. So if it has to go a total of 6 places, and one of them is this 5, that means it has to be 5 zeros. So, and you can put a 0 in front. 0.000058. Okay. Not bad. Not a bad question. Next, what's the product? We're pretty good at these too. 9 times 10 to the 10th. Times 4 times 10 to the -3. Multiply coefficients. 36 times 10 to the 7th. Done! Right?
No.
No! Why not?
36.
36 is in between 1 and 10. Nicely done. Divide by 10. But if I divide by 10,
You multiply.
now the multiply to balance it out. Very good. Times 10. Don't forget the 1. 3.6 times 10 to the 9th. 3.6 times 10 to the 9th.
Hey,
Yeah, it's 8.
hey.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was a 7, I thought it was an 8. I apologize, thank you for catching that. Times 10 to the 8, very good. Okay, which of the following is not equivalent to negative 1/25th? Now, when I see the 1 over, I realize this is a negative exponent, and 25 is a power of 5. So what that equals is 5 to the negative 2. And then I look at the choices. Choice A says 5 to the negative 2. Choice B is not going to be 5 to the negative 2. It's going to be 5 to the negative 1 with a negative in there. So choice B is the correct answer. Okay, we turn to the next page. All of those questions, by the way, are also worth 4 points. And that's another 12 points, and they're not quite as easy. We haven't done them quite as much, but I would not exactly call them very hard either. Maybe number 12 is kind of tricky, but the rest of them aren't too bad. Okay, number 13, a container of water has 1 times to the 20, 10 to the 20th molecules in it. Water is divided into so many smaller containers. Now, if you remember from earlier in the year, I said that whenever I get problems like this with scientific notation, these big long numbers mess my head up. Anybody else ever feel like that it messes your head up with these big long numbers?
Oh yeah, it was math block or something like
Yeah, kind of like a math block, sure. So I change it, and I say, instead of thinking about 1 times 10 to the whatever, I say, you know what? I got 20 gallons of water, and I have 4 buckets. How many gallons of water go in every bucket?
5.
5. How did you get the 5? Divided. So I'm going to divide here the amount of molecules, 1 times 10 to the 20, and I'm going to divide that by 5 times 10 to the 4. Now, subtracting exponents, I get times 10 to the 16. Now, 1 divided by 5 is not 5. It's 0.2, right? Tip top falls over, 5 into 1.0. Now, I need to multiply by 10 there, so I have to divide by 10 to balance it out, and I get 2 times 10 to the 15. And to me, that is the first hard question we've hit. Yes. It's the first question that, if I gave that question to 100 students, at least 30 are going to get that question wrong. Okay? I hope you're not one of them. All right, so now 14A through D are a bunch of equations, and I've graded a lot of your quizzes. I've seen you do a bunch of these equations, and they have looked good. So I am going to tell you the answers. If you want to go over any one of them, let me know.
Oh, I just want.
Hold on, let me just do these in my head because I can't do too much at once. 7, first one's 7. A is 7. B, negative 3. C, 3, 6, 2, 8. 8 over 6, which is 4 over 3 or 1 1/3. Please don't convert that to a decimal. If you put 1.3 repeating, it's right. But a lot of kids will convert it to a decimal wrong, and they'll kind of round it off and they'll write 1.3 or 1.33. So avoid that. Letter D, infinite answers. There are infinite answers because you get to the point where it says 6 equals 6. Okay, next question up, number 15.
Wait, you didn't.
I answered all of those.
Oh, I was gonna ask a question.
Oh,
for
go ahead.
number C. I just wanted you to go over number C,
Okay, letter C.
or letter C.
2n plus 3n plus n minus 1 plus 3 is 10. So it's like terms together because it's the same size situation, right? 2 n's and 3 n's is 5 n's and another n is 6 n. Negative 1 and 3 makes 2 equals 10. Minus the 2, and I get 6n is 8. Divide by 6, and it's 8 over 6, which reduces to 4 over 3. We good? Go ahead.
So, like you said, compare it to a decimal, we're allowed to or not?
You are allowed, but you can't get it any more right. If you get it right, you're going to get full credit. But you can't get it more right than this. So what I'm saying is, why do the extra step? You get no extra points. And if this was wrong, when you convert it, it's going to be wrong too. But if this is right, it's possible you'll make a mistake in the conversion. You'd be stunned how often it happens. It happens a lot, more than half the time. Yes?
Oh, and just for letter B, I got +3. Cause don't you,
No.
turn the 7 into,
No, what you wanna do is subtract the n from both sides.
yeah, I did.
Then you will get
Negative.
2n, and then add 1, you get 2n equals -6,
Oh, wow.
okay? All right, so now we go to the next one, solve for j. When you read something that says solve for j, what does that mean to you? Get the j by itself, right? So first I'm gonna add k to both sides. And I get t plus k equals 2j. Now that's weird, but it's not hard. I know enough to know, just like over here, it said +2, I did -2, see? I know that this said -k, so I did +k, inverses. I can't add t plus k, so I just get t plus k. Now it says 2j, over here it said 6n, I knew to divide by 6, now I know to divide by 2. Die. And I get a very strange looking answer. I get the answer t plus k over 2. But just because something's strange looking doesn't mean it's wrong. It can very much be right. For example, Donald Trump, no, I'm kidding. Okay, all right, now, next up. 2 more than 4 times a number is 34. Now, on your paper, I just want to ask you a question. As you look on your paper, you can see yours, where are your underlines? Remember how we spent time talking about how in wrestling, if you break something down, if you break your opponent down, Melvin, head me again. If you break your opponent down in wrestling, then you can finish them off. Melvin, I watched you play soccer the other day. I told you. I thought you were fantastic. I really did. And it amazes me how you can dribble that ball and make people miss you. You were like, and the guys on the other team are like falling to the ground, trying to get the ball away from you, and they can't do it. It's amazing to me. So I would imagine if when you get older, you want to be like a professional dancer, you'd probably be great at it, because you can make your body go in 19 different directions at once. I don't know how you do it, I can't do it, but you're amazing at it. Now, if I'm defending you, I have to make sure that I get you broken down, because if I try to get the ball from you all at once, you're too good.
Do the wrestling with Josh.
I can't do it, yeah. So I have to find a way to break you down. And if I'm playing soccer against you, real soccer, I'm gonna hit you. Because I can't get the ball from you if I don't hit you.
That's what happens.
It is!
Yeah, and then they get fouled and then.
That's
start
right.
playing.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
not Melvin though. The other team's like.
No, I know.
The balls.
I know, because he's so good. Now, likewise, in wrestling, you gotta get that guy flat to the mat. You've got to break him down. Once he's broken down, you can work on pinning him. So with this particular question, what you should have underlined is 2 more than 4 times a number, and you should have is 36 underlined. Now the easiest part,
It's 34.
okay, sorry. The easiest part is the equals 34. Then it says 2 more than 4 times a number. Remember, if I see more than or less than, last shall be first and?
First shall be last.
Very good. 2 more than 4 times a number. So the 4 times a number goes first, add 2. 4n plus 2 is 34, minus 2, die. 4n is 32, divided by 4, n is 8. Okay? All right. Now, next one. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 42. So some of the important things is sum, right? I should have sum underlined or circled. It should be on your paper. You should circle or underline the word sum. And then 3 consecutive integers, you might want to underline that like 17 times. And then is 42. Now, as soon as I see 3 consecutive integers, I go first consecutive integer, second consecutive integer, third consecutive integer. So the first consecutive integer is x. The next one is always what? X plus 1, sweet. And last one is,
X plus 2.
and then it says the sum. Well, what does sum mean? Add. So I'm going to take the first guy. There he is. First guy. But it's not the sum of the first guy. It's the sum of the what? First. What's it say on your paper? Sum of the first 3. Here's the second guy. Add that one. There's the third guy. Add that one. So, first one, second one, third one. I'm adding, that's what sum means, is, what does it say, 42?
30. Oh yeah, 42.
42, okay, good. Same side!
Same.
1x, 2x, 3x. 1 and 2 makes 3, equals 42. Now it's sending the ground troops, minus the 3. That's that guy. 3x is 39. Divide by 3. X is 13. Okay. X is 13. All right, yes?
On the test, we have to show work like underline and circle.
Well, here's the deal. I would never take points off if you didn't. But I think it's foolish if you don't. Because, first of all, it takes like seconds longer. You're kind of doing it anyway. And my experience is kids who do it are much more likely to get it right. Okay. It says find the largest integer. So 13 is not the answer. 13, then what?
13 and
14, then 15. 15 is the largest integer. So that's what you have to write down as it. Okay, next up. One number is 2 less than twice another number. One number is 2 less than twice another number. If the sum of the numbers is 40, find both numbers. Stop!
Yeah.
Duh.
Hey, baby.
Oh, we did that for show.
Boy.
There you go.
Boy.
Now, here's the drill. Stop! Because I read something in there that caught my attention. In the name of love. If I'm walking Ziva
A what?
at night, I'm walking Ziva.
A
If
zebra?
I see
A
this,
zebra.
Ziva,
Who's that? Your dog?
my dog, yeah, one of the 3.
Oh, it's a cute
Ziva
name.
is by far the most protective, assertive of the 3.
Yeah.
If I see Ziva's, I look down at her snout. Here's her nose, right, coming across. If I see the sides of her nose puff out, that means the crud is about to hit the fan,
A what?
the poo-poo.
It's about to hit.
It means I've alerted to something. There's something I don't like and I don't trust. As soon as she does this, and I see those little puffs, she will raise her head and she will start to lean. And what it means is she's looking because she hears, sees, smells something that she doesn't like. And she's looking at it and she's ready to go. She is 100% in full-blown guard mode. And that means that if another dog or a raccoon or a squirrel or a person comes from where she can't see, that person, now she's really good with people and she wouldn't attack a person unless the person gave her really good cause. But if that animal comes out, it is an attack. Full-blown attack to kill in no uncertain terms. So I learned to recognize that in her behavior. It's the way she is. And if she was like that and a little kid came walking around the corner, she would change immediately and her whole butt, not her tail, her whole butt will wag back and forth. And she will pull me to the little kid and go, and lick the kid to death because she loves kids with a passion. Now, when I read the words one number, other number, I stop and I notice the body language. And the first thing I write up is one number, other number. Because the biggest reason kids get this question wrong is they think there's only one number. But the question clearly says one number, other number. So as soon as it says one number, I don't know what that is. In algebra, when I don't know what something is, what do I call it?
X or N.
X or N. Good, I'm going to go with N. Now, the other number is what I'm going to read from this problem. Oh, oh, there we go. The other number is 2 less than, first shall be
Last.
last, and Let's try it again.
Last shall be first.
First shall be,
Last.
and last shall be first. So it says 2 less than twice another number, so 2n minus 2. The sum is 40, so I gotta add them. Here's the first one, here's the second one. That sum, here's my addition, is 40. 1n plus 2n is 3n. Minus 2 is 40. Add 2 to both sides. Like that. 3n is 42. Divide by 3.
14.
And is 14. Oh! Did I answer the number?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Find both numbers. So the first one's 14.
Uh-huh.
What's the second one?
26.
26. How come it's 26, Manny?
Well, because this is, so technically, it says n equals 14, so on your other number is 2x, so technically you do 2 times 14. And
That's right, and then minus 2. Very good. Plugging in the 14 here, 2 times 14 is 28, minus 2 is 26. Excellent. Okay. Last question. And remember, this is exactly what your test is going to look like. What is the area of a rectangle whose length is 1 more than 3 times the width and whose perimeter is 74? So as soon as it starts talking about a shape, I always draw the shape. I like to see things. And it talks about the length and the width of the rectangle. So in other words, the sides. It says the length is 1 more than, there it is, more than, what do you say to yourself?
this-
Last shall be first. First shall be last with addition. So I'm going to call this x, and then it says 1 more than 3 times. How do I write that? 3x plus 1, right? It said 1 more, so that goes to the end. 3 times, so that goes to the beginning. What's this side here? What's an expression for it? They're equal, so what's this guy going to be? 3x plus 1. And what's that guy going to be? X. And then it says in the problem that the perimeter is 74. So what does perimeter mean?
Outside.
What is it?
Outside.
Yeah, and what do you have to do to all sides to get the perimeter? No, add them.
Add.
Add them. You gotta add them all. So I'm gonna add them all. I'm gonna start with the x, then I'm gonna add the 3x plus 1, then I'm gonna add the x, then I'm gonna add the 3x plus 1, and all together, I have to get the perimeter, which, what did they say, 74?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to get 74. This is pretty obviously, to me, a same size situation, right?
Yeah.
1x and 3x makes,
4x.
and another x makes,
5x.
and 3 more x's make, 8 x's. A 1 and a 1 make up?
2.
Boy, that looked so ugly, and now it looks so easy.
I know.
Die. 8x is 72.
No.
Divide by 8. X is 9. But it wants the length, the width, and the area. So now I'm going to take the 9, I'm going to put it here. What's the length? What do we get for the length there, boys in the back? Everybody, let's pay attention here. What is it? 28 is good. 3 times 9 plus 1 is 28. Then it goes one step further and it says, what's the area of that rectangle? How do I find area of a rectangle?
Length.
Length
Times width.
times width. Good. So what I have to do is 28 times 9. 72, 25. 252 is the area. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Now I want you to know something. Today, you were students.
What?
Today, you were students. Yesterday, you aren't near being students. You, yesterday, were, I don't want to use the term bad, but what you were was distracted from learning. And by definition, a student is here to learn. So I am going to give you a second chance,
It's because you moved me.
and I'm going to give you an opportunity to work. Now, we have about 12 minutes left in class.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to completely finish this during class time, but you will be able to finish it between class and homework. So you can start it in your groups, you can finish it at home, Danger, danger, danger. This is a quiz. This is going to be graded. So when you walk in the room tomorrow, you're going to hand this in. And if you don't hand it in, you get a 0. So you gotta make sure that you get this done.
We can move.
Once you get your paper.
Oh, lit.
This is a quiz. Well, I'm
Thank
passing
you.
out to you now.
Okay.
Okay,
Take home?
we start it now. Finish your take home. Folks, if you put an answer down and you don't show work, you don't get credit. I need to see work as to how you got your answer. Okay? All right. Yes, you can move around. You have the rest of the period to start it. I don't think you're going to finish it.
No.
Pencil, let's pen.
This is.
1 second.